Hello and welcome to the Bakersfield Symphony. I'm here to spread a little holiday cheer with some fun facts about some classic holiday music. But before we get started, I'd like to thank the sponsors and donors that have made our education programs here at the Bakersfield Symphony possible. This year, our premier education sponsors are Kern Family Healthcare, Kern County Superintendent of Schools, and The Wonderful Company. My name is Kendra Green, and I'm the Director of Education Engagement with the Bakersfield Symphony, and I'll be your host for this video. I've got 8 fun facts about holiday music to share with you today. Number 8. One of the most beloved holiday traditions of many families is going to see a production of the Nutcracker Ballet. The music for the ballet was written by Tchaikovsky, a Russian composer who wrote a number of ballets, symphonies, concertos, and other music that is still played around the world today. The Nutcracker Ballet was based on a story by E.T.A. Hoffmann, in which a young girl, named either Marie or Clara, depending on what version of the story you go by, is gifted a Nutcracker doll for Christmas by her godfather. In the story, the Nutcracker comes to life, has an epic battle with the Mouse King and his armies, which he wins, and he and Clara travel to the land of the Sugar Plum Fairy, where they essentially have a big party to celebrate the Nutcracker's victory. Whether you're familiar with the story or not, it may have crossed your mind that a nutcracker, even one that's sort of like a doll, is kind of an odd Christmas gift for a child. As it turns out, there is a folklore tradition in Germany in which nutcrackers are thought to protect your family and bring you good luck, and because of this, nutcrackers were often gifted to children at Christmas time. Seeing as the story of the Nutcracker is set in Germany, it all makes a lot of sense. Number 7. Good King Wenceslas is one of those carols that isn't a popular holiday song played on radio stations all the time, but every music teacher and every beginning band and orchestra student knows the melody because it's one of the few holiday songs that you can play using the first 5 notes that you learn on an instrument. While you may have played the beginning melody on your first concert in elementary school, you may not know the origin of the carol. The song is about Good King Wenceslas and his page happening across a poor man and helping him find food and shelter. The song was actually written to celebrate and encourage the tradition of giving to the poor on the second day of Christmas. Number 6. A violin solo of O Holy Night was the second piece of music ever to be broadcast on radio. The broadcast occurred in December of 1906. Number 5. Carol of the Bells was originally a Ukrainian folk song called Shedrik, and was all about a sparrow that flies home to tell his family about the upcoming year. Yes, the song was originally about New Year's rather than Christmas. Peter J. Wolowski, an American composer and choral director who was ethnically Ukrainian, decided to write English lyrics to the song and turned it into a Christmas classic. Number 4. Before Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was the star of his very own holiday song, he was a character in a series of holiday-themed coloring books made by the Montgomery Ward department store. A decade after the coloring books were released, Robert L. May, the staff copywriter who came up with Rudolph, asked his brother-in-law, Johnny Marks, to write a song based on the coloring book melody. And thus, the tune, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, was born. Number 3. The song Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow was not written on a cold wintry evening in front of a fire in a log cabin. No, it was written in Los Angeles on the hottest day of the year. Number 2. Christmas carols played a role in the Christmas Truce of World War I, in which some 100,000 British and German soldiers took a night off fighting to celebrate Christmas together. Many of the soldiers intermingled, exchanging presents, even playing games. There are some accounts of Christmas carols being sung back and forth. The Germans would sing Still Nacht, and the British would sing the English translation, Silent Night. The British would sing O Come All Ye Faithful, and the Germans would sing in its original Latin, Adeste Fidelis. Number 1. Jingle Bells was the first song broadcast from space. In December of 1965, astronauts Walter Schirra and Thomas Stafford reported seeing a UFO, describing it as a command module and 8 smaller modules in front. The pilot of the command module is wearing a red suit. Ground Control then heard the astronauts' own rendition of Jingle Bells, played on a harmonica with sleigh bells in the background. The harmonica and sleigh bells are currently on display in the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. Hopefully you learned something new about some holiday tunes today, and we hope that next year you'll be able to join the Bakersfield Symphony in person for our annual holiday concert. From our family to yours, we hope you have a wonderful holiday season.